President Trump's deadline for the Iran nuclear deal is just 11 days away, and Israel is pushing him harder to scrap the agreement. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went on primetime TV in Israel to say that, quote, Iran lied about wanting to build nuclear weapons. He showed off alleged documents from Iran's nuclear program before it signed the deal 3 years ago.
Iran's foreign minister mocked Netanyahu on Twitter, writing, quote, "The boy who can't stop crying wolf is at it again." A White House spokesman says this information provides new and compelling details about Iran's efforts to develop missile-deliverable nuclear weapons. Face Nation moderator and senior foreign affairs correspondent Margaret Brennan is here. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning. Well, the U.S. still believes that Iran has kept its nuclear program frozen since that 2015 agreement. But yesterday, Israel revealed that it had obtained new details about the scope and scale of Iran's past attempts to build a weapon.
Incriminating blueprints.
Standing next to intelligence seized by Israeli spies from a warehouse in Tehran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it proved that Iran had lied about its efforts to build a nuclear weapon.
Even after the deal, Iran continued to preserve and expand its nuclear weapons know-how for future use.
Netanyahu wants the U.S. to pull out of the 2015 deal, which froze Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. Last week, the leaders of France and Germany lobbied President Trump to stick with it rather than tear up the deal as promised on the campaign trail.
So, no, if anything, it's proven right what Israel has done today with the news conference.
The president must make a decision by May 12th. And yesterday, the president said he may instead choose a third option, craft a new version of the agreement.
And on or before the 12th, we'll make a decision. That doesn't mean we won't negotiate a real agreement.
Most of the intelligence Netanyahu cited was from before the 2015 deal had been signed, and he did not present any evidence that Iran had violated it. Speaking to reporters on board his plane, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the new details do show that Iran has not been honest about the nature of its past nuclear research.
This will, I think, spell out the scope and scale of the program that they undertook there.
And said that so far there does not appear to be evidence to contradict his testimony last month that Iran has been faithful to the deal.
I've seen no evidence that they are not in compliance today.
But it does contradict Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif's claim on Face the Nation that Iran's past nuclear program had been for peaceful purposes.
Iran was never racing towards a bomb, and it will not be racing towards a bomb.
This morning, the IAEA, which is the UN's nuclear watchdog, said they had, quote, no credible indications of activities in Iran relevant to the development of a nuclear explosive device after 2009. In other words, we already knew this.
Right, Margaret. And given the fact that policymakers based their policy on the idea that Iran was lying,
right,
who was this for? Was this an audience of one in Donald Trump, and was it to convince him or give him backing for what he might do?
A bit of both, because he has been lobbied hard by our allies and people who are in this deal. Israel, remember, is not a signatory, and Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, has long advocated against it. They want to see the U.S. be more muscular in the region. In other words, look at more military options rather than go through with this diplomatic deal. But it was an all-English presentation. It was multimedia. It appealed to many of the things that the president likes in these presentations. And he used TV clips as well. So it spoke to the president's language and in some ways may help provide him cover for a sleight of hand where they don't fully blow up the deal, but perhaps the president gets to say he's going to fix it.
Do you think there's a relationship between doing whatever's going to happen in the Iran deal and this emerging agreement, not agreement, or whatever with North Korea?
Well, the Trump administration pushes back hard against that because, yes, all our partners in this deal say, how can we partner with you again when you're going to break your own word? And how can anyone agree to sign on if you're going to do that? But at the same time, the administration says this is totally different, that North Korea really is concerned about maintaining Kim Jong-un's power. And if he gets basically a high enough price, it'll be good enough for them. But the president also thinks that this has buttressed his argument that if you push hard, you can get the other side to agree to a new term, a new deal. But so far, Iran has said no takers here.
All right, Margaret, thank you.